Welcome back to the NORL FIA GT3 series here at the wonderful Brunner circuit. Not so much wonderful weather here today though, as you can see. Forecast scheduled for the weekend is very much a rainy one. So we're watching Anel Tanovic. We're just going to get the pre-stream things as usual set up, which are pretty much now set up and ready to go. And I'm sure you're going to like this one. Round 2. This time out. Last time it was Nemesis Racing that won. Anel Tanovic goes for a trip through the gravel. Last time out it was very much a dominating performance by Nemesis Online Racing driver Nemesis Racing, Valerio Campagnari, as he went the whole race cleanly, while the rest in front of him all had the separate issues, including the Bentley of McAllister and the other guys of, I'm struggling to remember, but Joker and people like that had pretty interesting starts. So round 1's out of the way. We can now focus on round 2, get ourselves reacquainted. The chat is up and running, so do feel free, as always, to talk in the chat. Anel Tanovic really struggling for grip out there. That's his second spin. He had a good time out in the Nemesis Online Racing League, F1 League. Doesn't look like he's going to replace his fortune so far. Here out, Kedshi surprisingly had a lot of speed at Bathurst despite his poor qualifying. Kevin Jacobs in the chat, man who drives alongside him in the F1 League. Here to cheer him on once again. Welcome along to the stream, Kevin. Hope you're having a lovely evening. Hope you're ready for some crazy racing. Now we've had some interesting things here. I will need to clarify that with the rulebook, but wow, Kern Joker sets the pace in his Mercedes to start us off. But there have been a few car changes, and that includes race winner Nemesis Racing. You can see he was now in a Lamborghini. If you remember the last time out, he was in the number 1 Audi. Same for Chazza. He was also in an Audi. He has switched to a Renault. So that's going to be interesting. Currently it's Galactic Skull 2 then, on pole position from Mark in the Renault. You can see Nemesis crosses the line, albeit with a penalty. And the pace is coming in thus far. So Galactic Skull 2 on provisional pole by 6/10 of a second. Now you remember Murcielago was here last time, was taken out through no fault of his own. He will look to get back towards the front, but he's 1.4 seconds off the pace on his first flying lap. We have 4.5 minutes left to go. Anel Tanovic will be coming up to start a lap, I believe. Yeah. So that lap very much off the pace for Anel, because he was in the gravel at the start of this lap. That Porsche is ever so loud. But yeah, Anel Tanovic not on the pace yet, neither is the freaking Joker, and I wouldn't say anyone past Beamer has set a very good lap yet. So anyone 7th and below, don't take their pace seriously just yet. They're yet to have a clean lap. The penalty comes out for JFD, which means he will not be improving on this lap. Nemesis Racing still out there trying to improve as the freaking Joker. An old NORL veteran comes out of the pits and almost puts it in the wall immediately. That shows you just how little traction is available to these guys in the rain right now. And Jacob says he's having an awesome game. I'm glad to hear it, man. I really am glad to hear it, and I hope you enjoyed the stream. And let's hope these guys put up some good racing for you. That's a lovely sounding Mercedes-Benz powering up to the start-finish line to set his newest time. Kern Joker, will he improve? No, he will not. He will go again. Not an improvement for Kern Joker. Will it be an improvement for McAllister in the Bentley? So far, no. But he will start a new lap. Will Mark improve? No, he will not. He will improve, actually, by 3/10 of a second, but it's not enough to gain him pole position just yet. Bentley still very much on pole. Chazza up in P3. And the man finished P2 in the F1 League earlier last week, sorry, on the Sunday, of course. Now, these guys are all following each other in some pretty intense traffic. And you have to wonder why they're not fanning out and splitting up, but they're not, so these guys very much slowing each other down, especially with the spray. We ride inside the Bentley. You can see, this is all the Bentley can see. It's not as bad as I imagined it would be, as the Renault has gone off anyway, so that problem's resolved itself. But that just gives you an idea of the spray these guys are going to be handling as we go into the race. And it does actually look like the rain is clearing up a little bit. The rain is easing. Visually, the rain looks like it's cooling off a bit. You can see it's not dry here, but it is at the top of the hill. So times could still come down in the final 1 minute 50 seconds. So Galactic Skull 2 cannot afford to rest just yet. He has to keep on with his lap. Unfortunately, we haven't got the... Can we get the splits up? We're not getting much, are we? Here are your timings right now. You can see McAllister's lap was off the pace last time around, but for right now, he's on the pace and he's on pole. Chazza 7/10 off is the only other car within a second of these guys, so fingers crossed for these guys that they can get the best out of the track. It's very slippery and the race start is going to be very tricky for these guys indeed. But so far, the Freaking Joker's yet to set a valid time. I'd say Nemesis is yet to set a decent time. Kedshi had pretty poor qualifying in Bathurst too, so I'm not sure. The Audi getting sideways as we watch Anel Tanovic make his way around the circuit. Around they go. So Anel Tanovic is doing well. Galactic Skull 2 has not improved on that lap time. That looks like he could continue for another lap though. Is he going to continue? Let's have a look. It's definitely not on board, is it? The on board button is not on board. We'll watch the man who's on pole position. And how has he done it so far? Brakes just after the 100 meter board, the rear end getting away from him. So far it looks like he's got to the front of the car in, nice and tidy, aims for that inside apex. Bit of understeer coming from the Bentley. Don't want to use that AstroTurf on the outside of the curb though, it is far too wet right now. And you will go slippity sliding all over the place. Can the man improve on P1 though? We will watch. And this will be the end of the session, so these guys have got 150 seconds to finish their laps. If they're going to improve, it's now. Machilaga pulls over, so at least P4. And the very best is P4, and if anyone else massively improves behind him, he will of course lose that. So mainly the battle is between Shazza, Mark, and Galactic Skull 2 for pole position right now, I would say. And judging by how wide that was from Chazza, he might have ruled himself out. We're not sure. Hard to say. We don't have splits. We can't see if these guys are improving on their sector times or not. We will try to find out who is the closest. Who is the closest? So it'll be Mark who will cross the line first, then Galactic Skull, and then Chazza quite a ways away. So we will watch Mark for the rest of his lap as he comes through the final sector, a bit hesitant, trying to get the power down. There's a cone in the middle of the track. He dodges that nicely. Takes out a big tyre though. That's going to cost him some time. That will have slowed down his top speed, hitting that at that speed. When he comes across the line, will it affect him? No. So no improvement. Will Galactic Skull 2 come and extend his advantage? Across the line he comes now. He does not extend his advantage. So Chazza, theoretically, and judging by that, I think the challenge is over. Chazza is not improving anytime today. Will an improvement come from Cone Joker? He's got a little bit of traffic to navigate through the final sector. The traffic gets out of the way nice and easy. Speedman Black going into the pits. Cone Joker up to the line. Can he improve from P5? No, no improvement. So although the track physically looked a bit drier, it's not JFD. Well, he improved 4 seconds off the pace. He hits that tyre as well. And that's slowing these guys down when they hit the tyre like that. No improvement. Surely Nemesis Racing can improve from being 6 seconds off the pace. Last week's winner finds himself all but second to last. No improvement. The difference a week makes. And that is qualifying done. Galactic Skull 2 is your man on pole position. The man takes his first ever NORL pole. Congratulations to the Scotsman in the Bentley. Pole position for Bentley here at Brno, ahead of Mark in the Renault. and Chaz will follow in the sister Renault. So it's Bentley, Renault, BMW. As we get ready to go racing for round number 2 of the NORL FIA GT3 series. Crazy stuff happening already. So I should be able to bring up the full times. Here you go, you can see who is where and who will be signed from where. You can just see McAllister's, no one was anywhere near her, so it looks like the rain even got even more intense towards the end of qualifying there, which is surprising, because physically on the track you can see it looks like it's got lighter, but I'm not sure. Regardless, very interesting grid, a very mixed grid. Last week's race winner starts P10 and Bentley starts on pole position. Going to be a good race, I'm sure. If the rain has anything to do about it, if the rain follows us into the race, I'm sure we'll have some ups, some downs, some lefts and some rights. Gareth Lennon, another former NORL racer, in the chat here cheering on and congratulating Colin McAllister on his first ever NORL pole position. So to the race we will go. While the admins are just setting that up, we'll discuss anything going on in the chat. If you guys have any questions between now and the race, feel free to pop them in. Kevin Jacobs says, hopefully we don't see a turn 1 like last week. That's very true. That was a huge accident that wiped out effectively most of the field. But given the way Bruno is, and Bruno's turn 1 is a lot different to Bathurst, it's a lot less sharp. So I think there'll be a lot more room. It is decreasing radius, so as the corner decreases and goes into more of a turn 2, I expect to see a few guys in the outer gravel. I'm going to put money that we'll have some guys in the gravel when it comes to that. Otherwise, I think it'll be a lot cleaner than Bathurst in turn 1. It's a lot less tricky of a track. That's a bouncy BMW, isn't it? Hydraulics out on Murcielago's BMW. Colin, looks like that Bentley is dialed in today. Yeah, the Bentley looks a lot stronger than it did in Bathurst. Saying that, the Bentley did lead for a good chunk of Bathurst and got caught in an accident. But it's reinforced with Beamer up in P6 and the sister Bentley, the Dodge Post. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, the Bentley looks like it's happy at Bruno. Renault's look very good too, though. Freaking Joker leaves the session. I'm not sure what's going on here. I might have to check with the admins. It looks like the lobby has crashed, and we might have to reset the lobby. Yeah, that looks like it's very much the case. And the game crashed. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to apologise for those issues that you just experienced. So I'm going to inform you that it was a lobby crash. The lobby crashed after qualifying. The guys had real trouble. The lobby would not progress to the race, so they've opted to restart the lobby. And we are going once again. I do apologise. I'm just going to get a tweet out for the Twitter users. So just bear with me while I get this set up. But what is going to happen is there is going to be going straight to the race. We'll be going straight to the race. And we will be doing one manual formation lap to reform the grid to what it should be. So my assumption is Colin McAllister, Gladskill 2, will lead the pace on that formation lap, and we will get to go. I need the admin to send me Project Cars 2. Can take the Project Cars 2 are the bugs, but you can't take the bugs out of Project Cars 2. Just getting this set up once again. There we go. Fortunately, we do have to go through the rubbish of putting the streams up for you guys on the Twitter feed, so we're just getting that done. That will be completed shortly. That is done, and we can focus on the race entirely. So yeah, we're going to have a one manual formation lap then. Welcome back. So we do apologise, of course. What happened there is, so number one, the game crashed. That's what happened. That's why the stream went down. Secondly, we had a lobby crash. So the lobby would not progress from qualifying to the race. So it's been restarted, and we're going straight into the race. And we're going to have one manual formation lap. One manual. So Colin will lead them around on a formation lap. And when we come back to the line after that one manual formation lap, we will have a rolling start. And we will thunder off towards turn one for round number 2 of the NORL Project Cars 2 NORL FIA GT3 series. So as you can see, the grid is not what it was, but it will be manually set on this formation lap. And that man there on the left, these two are your front row actually. Very interesting, good shot there. It is still very much raining. Callum Spencer. Yeah, if I could throw in some custom adverts there, I would have. Maybe I should start streaming this through the PC. And then I could throw in adverts at times like that. That'd be quite cool. Might look into that. Make like a Nemesis Online Racing advert. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite cool. Like an yeah. Yeah, no. That's for another day. Right now, we're just getting the lobby set up, ready for this manual formation lap. So Galactic Skull 2 in the Bentley on your left will lead from pole position. Mark will follow him. I think what they're trying to do now is just manually figure out the grid. Let me turn the game down, because holy Jesus, that got loud all of a sudden. So these guys will have a manual formation lap. They won't go racing straight away. They will get in their rightful positions. Okay, that's cool. Standings don't do anything. Just making sure all of our lovely buttons are working. Here we go then. Galactic Skull 2 then leads from Mark. Chazza will be in third. Murcielago 4th. Kern, Beamer Black, Kedshi, JFD, Anil Tanovic, and the Freaking Joker. No sign of a Nemesis Racing, however. Cadbury's buttons and Iron Brew sound good to me, lads. Don't laugh. Just checking, but it looks like we will not be seeing a Nemesis Racing in this race. It looks like it did not start for Nemesis Racing in this race. He was experiencing thunderstorms outside of his house when this got going, and he did warn me that it is possible that his connection would drop. So it looks like Nemesis Racing is out due to no fault of his own. I'll put it down to an act of God. But these guys should be warming the tyres up a lot more than they are doing, because they're going to get going. And they're going to have no temperature. You can see Mark's already working the front tyres of that Renault a lot more than Skull is in the Bentley ahead of him. So upon initial inspection, Mark's going to have a lot more grid, a lot more grip on the grid than McAllister in the Galactic Skull 2 Bentley is. So Galactic Skull 2 needs to get work the front tyres a bit more. Thunderstorm is like Ferrari strategy with Val. Yeah, poor Val. So both former NORL racers and the current NORL racer, Kevin Jacobs, all in the chat talking away. Work them tyres, Colin, come on man. His teammate can only sit in agony and watch as he prays for his Iron Brew Racing teammate in other series to do a good job and get his first NORL victory here today. The Renault of Chazza aggressively working the tyres on the front as well. Could the Renaults be all over Galactic Skull 2 on the opening lap? What a shot that is. What a beautiful shot this is. As the cars creep up the back straight, we can just view where they are on the map. And you can see they're coming up this back straight. They'll be coming into the final corner. You can see Nemesis Racing did disconnect. Around the final corner they come then. And we will get ready to go racing in NORL for round 2 of the FIA GT3 series here at Brunner. Chaz are very aggressive, almost alongside Mark. Mark very aggressive as well. Lights out and away they go there. McAllister drops the hammer and away we go into turn number 1. Looks like Chaz has fallen back from Mark. Mark's still looking up the inside, a little bit late on the brakes, and looks like he might have the inside line. For turn 1, no, McAllister cuts that off very well. Chaz are all over the back as well. You can see Cone Joker fighting out there for 5th place. Beamer Black and Kedji going side by side in the background of the Porsche. We have a Renault going very wide, and it looks like Beamer Black survives the attack from Kedji this time around. Anil Tanovic goes side by side. Meanwhile, up into turn 3 they come, but heavy on the brakes. It looks like Chaz are under pressure from Murcielago and the BMW M6. As we go around into the second sector, it looks like Chaz survives, gets the better grip on the racing line. Beamer Black and Anil Tanovic still side by side. Anil Tanovic looking to go all the way around the outside in the Audi of that Bentley. Is he going to be able to pull it off? We can see Kedji now is getting a little bit interested as well. Can Kedji get 2 cars in one move here? Impressive move from the Porsche if he can do it. Up the inside he goes wide and Anil Tanovic spins, collects the freaking Joker, and we've had an accident on the very, very slippery first lap. Anil just lost the rear end. Kedji though did make 2 moves in one as the rest of the field took each other out in the background there. Absolutely crazy scenes, and that's what happens if you don't warm your tyres up. You just have the most pathetic of spins, and that's what happens. Murcielago still pressurizing the absolute life out of Chazza. As we make our way down the back straight, we can ride on board and just see absolutely nothing because of the spray. Look how late the BMW is on the brakes, trying to look to go all the way around the outside of Chazza, but there's just not enough grip out there to do that. Mark very much under pressure from Chazza. Chazza now looking to the inside. Chazza had the inside line for the next corner, but brakes very early and subdues the position for now. And as a result, Mark goes a little bit wide and is struggling. Murcielago in the background, still lurking in P4. Very close battle from these guys. So we see them come up the hill. Chazza's on the outside, but not close enough to mount an attack on Mark. This is still very close here. As Mark goes very wide, though, that's going to allow Chazza to swoop around and take P2. Unless Mark can throw it up the inside, he's going to throw it up the inside, but the battle is lost for now. He would rather stay in it for the wall. Look at the slide going on from the Mercedes in the background. We have side-by-side freaking Joker trying to challenge as well. Heading into turn 1 for the second time. We go. Oh, look at that! Very late move from Murcielago, catches the Renault napping and might get 2 cars in one move. What a move from Murcielago up into P2, and will now begin applying the metaphorical blowtorch of pressure to the rear of that Bentley. But Mark wants that P2 back. He'll look to the inside line and try throw it down the inside of that BMW. I'm sure the BMW on the outside line. Galactic Skull 2 defends well. Mark is still very much there, but now Murcielago has the inside line for the second part of this section. Now very much has the inside line for the second part, but Mark going clean around the outside. Good move, but they will drag down into the next section as Chaz is there. Cone Joker's being brought back into it as well. Murcielago gets the position back with better tracks, and will Chaz to throw it down the inside? No, he will not. Mark wants to throw it down the inside of the BMW though. Nowhere to go with it, and that is the craziness resolved in that battle for just a moment. What's going on back here? Anil Tanovic and the Freaky Joker have got going again. Beamer Black has had another spin to one on this lap. Speaking of spins, we've got Cone Joker going around on the second lap. Such a lack of grip out there, and it's the big roaring V8s that lead. Then confirmation that Nemesis Racing is disconnected due to a heavy thunderstorm. Not away the race leader wanted to start week 2, but I'm sure he'll enjoy watching the action and seeing who he will battle. It could very much be a 4-car battle for the lead, says Kevin Jacobs as we look through the grid. It's very much a 2-horse race at the moment though. Murcielago very nearly lost the rear of that BMW, holds onto it well. Good save from the yellow BMW. Chaz are just searching everywhere for a bit of grip. We look back down the field and Anil Tanovic has gone for another spin in the Audi. Beamer Black will take P9 as a result. 0.3 of a second separate them as they make their way into the final 2 corners to begin lap number 3. 22 minutes remain in this motor race, and the rain doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Colin McAllister loses the rear of that Bentley just a little bit. That's going to give Murcielago the opportunity to smell blood, as he's just finding all kinds of grip on the very outside line, but that's actually slowed him down a lot, because now Mark finds himself in the fight, and Mark will surely challenge for P2 as we head into turn 1. What a shot, free abreast it looks like. Oh wow, look how late that is for Mark, touches the Bentley, puts himself on the grass, Murcielago around the outside of the Bentley. The Bentley's now going to do all the work and hang it around on the outside. However, Murcielago pulls back a little bit, but now Murcielago has the inside line for the next corner. The Bentley of Galactic Skull 2 does get the power down better though, and just drags back ahead of the BMW. And that was all so close, as Murcielago still looking for an opportunity on the Bentley, goes very wide indeed. And now Chazza looking a little bit interested on the Renault of Mark. And it all started with Mark making a very late move into turn 1. Almost ended in a huge accident. We can see Chazza now challenging for Mark. Up the inside he will go, surely later on the brakes than the blue Renault. Doesn't have the confidence that the blue Renault does. And the order remains the same for now, but now Mark still putting pressure on Murcielago. Murcielago looks like he has the pace, but he's struggling in these wet conditions. You see Kedji's under a bit of pressure from JFD in the background as well. Still very much a 4-horse car race for the win here today. Murcielago wants redemption for his Bathurst DNF. Galactic Skull 2 wants redemption for his Bathurst DNF. Mark and Chazza would love to add to their championship tally after Bathurst with a main title leader out of this race. Looking to the inside once again, but doesn't have the grip to make a move from that far back. And he's got to be right with him. The Bentley leads from BMW. Chazza looks to the inside of Mark once again. Nothing doing this time around. And the final section we come. Kern Joker sets the fastest sector 1, the Freaking Joker sets the fastest sector 2, as we have a little bit of a battle forming here. Kedji versus JFD. Is there going to be any potential moves? There might be a move going into big contact at the start that we've missed there. Mark has hit Galactic Skull 2, it looks like. There's been an accident. Galactic Skull 2 finds itself in P3. Murcielago now leads from Chazza, but the Bentley and the Renault came together definitely, but we didn't see just how it happened. Meanwhile, JFD forces a move up the inside of Kedge. She gets the job done. That's the battle that we was focusing on when this happened. P4 for the Renault, and it's all gone wrong. But Bentley still have 20 minutes to fix this. It could be a case, but it definitely made contact. We don't know how it happened. That's for the stewards to find out. And we can address it later on, but for right now, got to focus. Can the Bentley make back those positions inside 20 minutes? He's got 20 minutes to redeem this. Look at this little train. JFD leads Kedji, leads the Freaking Joker, leads Cone Joker. They're all searching for a bit of relief from the spray. There's a bit of relief. Kedji down the inside, just misses. That should allow. There's another car spun. There's Murcielago. Murcielago's gone round. Murcielago drops out of the lead after a spin down into P8. That's one car for the Bentley dealt with. He's now going to chase down Chazza. Murcielago spins. He wasn't near anyone. That looks like he dropped that by himself. As the Freaking Joker touches Kedji. Kedji goes around. Cone Joker has nowhere to go. Gets away with it. Looks like the Freaking Joker made contact, and I'm sure he'll be summoned to the stewards and they can review that incident. Kedji got tapped around there. Mark still trying to make his way up the grid. Murcielago and Mark have gone from effectively P2 and P3 to P6 and P7. Been an absolute nightmare of a lap for those guys. Chazza now leads by a second. Crazy racing going on here on lap, what is this, lap 4? Absolutely insane. Chazza has opened up a gap of 1.6 seconds to the Bentley, and he's just got to try and nurse that gap if he wants to win here today. Chazza stayed out of trouble and now leads this motor race as a result. Does he have the pace though to keep ahead of the charging Bentley? We'll see over the next few laps. There's a Renault going sideways. You can just see how little grip is out there. That's good news. But even better news is Mark and Murcielago are going to be going side by side. Is that Mark coming into a pit lane? So we have our first pit of the day. in the form of the Renault Sport driver, the Bleu de France. Renault comes into the pits for his first stop. Kedshi follows him in the bopped Porsche. Pit stop time, and it is new tyres then. However, no new tyres have been put on, so it looks like no new tyres going on for these guys, so to just effectively stop going. That is a tactic within Project Cars 2 to serve your mandatory pit stop without actually having to do anything, without having to take the pit stop. Gunjoker's got a bit of front end body damage. So Chaz has opened up the gap by a further 2 tenths on this lap. The freaking Joker finds himself up in P3 in the Styx McLaren. And meanwhile, we said he opened the gap by 2 tenths, but McAllister has just closed the gap by 7 tenths through the middle sector. Even dropping further, 8 tenths now. 9 tenths when you look at it that way. McAllister found an awful lot of time through the middle sector. Did Chazza make a mistake? He's lost almost a second to the Bentley. Very interesting. Not sure how that has happened. But this is still our main battle for right now. All the gaps are pretty big at this stage in the race while the pit stop's coming into play. Chazza can't get the power down through there, and it looks like the Bentley can. So the Bentley finds another tenth through that sector. Loses it on the exit though. Galactic Skull could still win this. The freaking Joker could even win it at this point. Hell, even JFD could win this. More time found by the Bentley. You can just see that Renault in front of him. Now, it is pit stop time for... Oh, the rear end, a mistake from the Bentley. Sees him under pressure from the other British manufacturer of McLaren off the inside. Now, are any of these guys going to pit? Freaking Joker is going to pit. You see JFD to the wrong pit lane entry there. JFD pits as well, using the wrong entrance. Murcielago pit, so everyone diving into pit road. Now, are any of these guys going to put on new tyres, or are they just doing the cheat tactic of stopping and going? Everyone is doing a stop-go tactic. No one's actually changing tyres. Will Murcielago change tyres? No. McAllister looks like he's lost 5 seconds to Chazza on this lap. 5 seconds lost by the Bentley. Was that due to that move, or was it a half spin or something? But that's given Chazza the breathing room that he could so easily use. Hopefully Chazza doesn't make it. Hopefully for him, Chazza doesn't make another mistake. And Chazza has the biggest gap he's had all race, and he will have the least pressure he's had all race as well. Beamer Black chasing down. The Freaky Joker and Mark are going to get into it though. Renault versus McLaren. Feel like you're commentating old. F1, JFD changed tyres, claims Kevin Jacobs. Interesting, that will have cost him a lot of time, but he'll have more grip if that's the case. McLaren versus Renault then. Look at the exit from freaking Joker. Now has the inside line. Going into the next corner, down the inside it will go, surely. Mark on the outside will try to hold it. Looks like Mark actually goes for a switchback and almost loses the rear of that Renault in doing that, and that solidifies it for the freaking Joker. Job done for the orange McLaren, but a little bit wide there might encourage Mark to come back at him. The freaking Joker moves up into P6. And around they will go once again. All the gaps very spread out now due to pit stops. Chazza, Galactic Skull 2, and I would say Cone Joker 2, and Beamer Black. Your top 4 still yet to pit. When they will pit, we don't know. Will Chazza pit this lap? Yes, he will. So Chazza goes for pit lane then. Will McAllister attempt an overcut, or will he follow him in? He will follow him in. Now then, pit stop time. Will that change anything? Cone Joker is losing time to Beamer Black. Did these guys change tyres? Looks like a stop-go tactic from Chazza. However, Chazza looks stuck in pit lane for an awful long time here. That's a very long stop from Chazza. When they're going to release the Bentley? It's an awful long stop for Bentley too. This is painful to watch for these guys. Kernjoker comes in the pits. Is he going to hold up? Galactic Skull 2. It could be the reason why both these guys got held for so long. JFD has made a great undercut and finds himself in P3. However, he has no headlights. He's lost his headlights somewhere throughout this time. Fastest sector 3 goes to the freaking Joker. It's finding his footing very well. Kernjoker and Mark battle on the exit of pit road. Did Kernjoker get that damage fixed? They did. Galactic Skull 2's ended up behind Kernjoker somehow. Galactic Skull 2 has lost out massively. He's lost 4 positions in the pit stop phase. Did Galactic Skull change tyres when nobody else did? Other than JFD. But still, that's a huge loss and effectively writes the Bentley out of the chance for the win here today. Meanwhile, we watched the battle between Kernjoker and Mark. Kernjoker opting to be a bit careful with the grip he has available to him. The rear end steps out mid-corner. It had been a strategy blunder from Bentley here today, I think. And it's all gone horribly wrong. Beamer Black yet to pit, however, so Chaza leads, has a net lead. JFD will have a net P2. The freaking Joker will round off your podium after Beamer Black pits. When he pits, nobody will know. And JFD's struggling to keep it in a straight line, it looks like. Kernjoker's trying his best to find a way past Mark, and Galactic 2 will get involved as well. Looks to the inside, sends it down the inside. He has new tyres, so he has the grip to do that. It's cost him track position, but he has more grip than the other guys. Beamer Black, will lightly put on this lap. What a battle this is between the Renault and the McLaren once again, but this time it's the Oculus Rift Renault of JFD. The Styx McLaren looks to the inside. Got the job done before we even get to the corner. Easy move for the McLaren in the end. So he did fix the headlight of that Mercedes when he pitted. Beamer Black comes into pit road. Chaza leads then from the freaking Joker now, then JFD. Mark going defensive in the background from Galactic Skull 2. Bentley on the outside, Renault on the inside. McAllister should have the better line here. Oh, rear end. Getting all kinds of squirrely on the inside. Oh, wow. This is so close. Contact. And Kernjoker's right there to take P5 back. Just slips under his nose. No one saw that coming. Good job for Kernjoker for staying on these guys, waiting for them to make a mistake like that. Good move by Kernjoker. Freaking Joker, however, is closing in on Chaza massively on this lap. Could the freaking Joker win? Where did the freaking Joker start? I feel like he started towards the back, if not last. Either way, it will be a truly impressive win if the McLaren can pull it off. It's been a strategy masterclass by McLaren, as well as consecutive fastest laps and sectors from McLaren. The Renault feeling the pressure. If these two come together, it widens the race right up. But as for right now, it could be an incredible comeback story for McLaren and the freaking Joker. Chaza tries squeezing him to the inside line, but you get the feeling that it's an only inevitability right now. Chaza needs to pick his pace up, or he is definitely going to lose the lead to McLaren. The McLaren is all over the Renault. The Renault squirming for grip at every turn. And the McLaren is loving the rain. It is so dialed in on a wet surface that he just has so much grip that Chaza doesn't. Chaza goes ultra defensive. Now the freaking Joker will pry around the outside and try going that route. On the outside, he'll have to late brake very late. He does brake very late. Is he going to make the corner? He does. He goes astronomically wide, but he makes the corner. The freaking Joker leads with 8 minutes gone. No, he doesn't, because he's gone around. He uses a reset button to get going as quick as he can, but he's gone around immediately after taking the lead. And it's a get out of jail free card for Chaza with 7 minutes 50 to go. And you have to admit, the reset button is a cheap tactic, but it worked for him there. Cone Joker, Mark, and the Bentley of the former race leader, Galactic Skull 2, still going at it here with 7:30 on the clock. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dear, dear, dear. That's the only way you can describe that. It looks like McAllister hit a puddle behind the apex of turn 2, and it just nosedived him into the side. Cone Joker's race is pretty much over. The damage must be quite big on Galactic Skull 2's car. Murcielago will have a field day hunting him down. Kedchi, the man who qualifies so low down, always finds himself in a good position towards the end of the race. Stays out of trouble, just a little green Porsche, and finds himself in these positions, very similar to Bathurst last week. Big damage on the front of Cone Joker's car after that impact. However, the freaking Jokers brought the gap to Chazza down to 1 second again. It is opening up a bit down this straight. Ironically, as it stands, this is still the closest gap we have on circuit. I think JFD might have just had a spin. He's lost a few seconds. He's definitely had a rough sector, if not a spin. The freaking Joker can still win. He has the pace to win if he can just not make these mistakes. Good to see that he remained calm under pressure after spinning out after taking the lead though. And will now challenge for the lead. He will try to take down Chazza once again. Follows him through the final sector. So easy to get it wrong here, as freaking Joker did. Just got to get a good exit, remain calm, and it's that big puddle there. There's a huge puddle on the final corner that these drivers are losing all their grip over. The freaking Joker could have a pop into turn 1 if he's close enough. He's within 0.3 of a second. Not close enough to dare it. He'll follow the Renault through for right now and hope to make an opportunity into turn 3. As there's another puddle here, you see they lose grip, and that's what caught out McAllister then. He went over that puddle, which sent him into another puddle behind the apex of turn 2 and spun him into the side of Cone Joker. It's so wet and puddles are forming so randomly. Oh, the Renault goes very wide. Renault has gone very, very wide. And whenever he pulls a gap, the McLaren pulls it back. And now look how close he is. Surely a move is coming up at the end of this corner. How defensive will Chazza go? The Cone Joker just doesn't have the confidence to pull up alongside him there. He'd rather stay behind and keep applying the pressure to the Renault. Still applying maximum pressure to Renault here. Oh, on the outside, now can switch to the inside maybe, if he can get it turned in. Yes, does exactly that. Now he has the inside for the next corner. It's advantage Joker at this stage. The Renault's got very good brakes, but the McLaren has better brakes, and this time he gets the job done. This time he doesn't make the spin. Good job by the freaking Joker. Takes the lead then with 4 minutes to go. Chazza will be heartbroken and will try his best to keep up with that McLaren. But the McLaren just seems to love the rain so much more. And that was a little bit of a desperation dive, we'll call it, from Chazza there. Oh, dearie me. How wrong it can go in a few quick seconds. 0.8 of a second is a gap. Chazza's still in it if freaking Joker makes a mistake. There's a question of if he will make a mistake, I think, at this point. But he just looks so comfortable in the wet, this boy. Around the final sector. There's a huge puddle in this final sector though that is catching these guys up. Something fierce. There it is. So easy to lose it over there, it looks like. See, meanwhile, Beamer Black has tracked down JFD. Could also be the freaking Joker's first win here today, of course. Wasn't just Galactic Skull 2 looking for his first win. It's freaking Joker. He's also looking for it, and if he can get the win here today, that'd be one hell of a way to do it. Oh, look at him struggle over that puddle. But the Bentley's still there. He could challenge JFD here. Into turn 1, looks to the outside line. Still got, look at the horsepower difference. Bentley versus Renault, not even a contest down the straight line. And the Bentley gets it done as if JFD was on the brakes down that straight. Incredible stuff from Bentley to just clean drive around the outside. Good move. 2.5 minutes remain in this motor race. This sunken motor race. 3 seconds the freaking Joker has pulled in a lap. Clearly the fastest man in the wet here today. Wonder why he had such a poor qualifying. Maybe just could not get that lap together. Murcielago looks like he's got the better Galactic Skull 2. Anything can happen still does. JFD is coming back at the Bentley. Looks like he's trying his best to stay with a bright yellow Deutsche Post sponsored Bentley. Trying his utmost. Just doesn't look like he has the grip there, and especially when you get to a straight line, it's just no contest. No contest whatsoever in a straight line. Mark has found himself back on the podium. It's a good recovery drive. However, I would imagine, well, I wouldn't imagine, I know that the Galactic Skull 2 and Mark incident will be investigated. We don't know, we didn't see it. We saw the aftermath, but we don't know who caused it. Galactic Skull 2 moved up into P5 on that lap. Murcielago must have made a mistake. And he loses a position to the Bentley. One more lap to go. But yeah, it was, we're not sure. Did McAllister drop it and spin into Mark? Did Mark make a move and hit McAllister? Very hard to say. But I'm sure it will be an investigation, as well as other incidents such as the freaking Joker did spin Kedshi around, remember? He wouldn't, I don't think NORL would strip him of his win. However, I think they would. Oh, Murcielago looks to the inside. It's a late move from the BMW, but it's got the job done. No defense was offered from Bentley there. Just sent it down the inside like he had a light year's worth of more grip. But it's been a good recovery drive from Mark, pending investigation, as well as I was saying, the freaking Joker did spin Kedshi around. So that will be investigated. He wouldn't lose his win. I don't think NORL affects race results, but he could get a qualifying ban for next time out. We'll have to see what they decide to do with that one. The Bentley getting all kinds of white and wild. But it's this man today who has been dominant as he makes his way through the second sector. McAllister's still there, 0.2 of a second. Bentley versus BMW. It's going to be close. These are two very similar engines going at it, two very similar body styles as well. Two men that could have both won here today had their incidents, and once again found themselves. It's a similar story to Bathurst. Could have, would have, should have. Will always be the questions asked after a race, but they can still settle it amongst themselves. Murcielago pulling a little bit away as we see the Sticks McLaren making his way up to the final corner. Still 0.2 of a second. It's right there, but it's so close but so far. Meanwhile, it's been this man who's done the work today. Came from the back of the grid to the front. He takes his first ever win in NORL. The freaking Joker wins at Brno with an impressive display. No one could match him in the rain today. Chazza will come home and take a well-earned P2. Just didn't have the pace to keep with freaking Joker in the end. Mark gets overtaken on the last corner. Kedshi overtakes Mark on the last corner and takes third place. What a move! Wow, great finish from the Porsche and Renault. Great effort by Kedshi to steal the podium at the last corner. Unbelievable. Murcielago did hold off Galactic Skull 2. Beamer Black will come home in 7th as JFD has... his connection's seen better days. We'll say that. I'm not sure what I'm watching here. And JFD comes across the line. Interestingly enough, and Kern Joker will be the last man to finish. Goes for some drift points for style. Can he finish within 10 seconds? Come on, Kern Joker, we believe in you. Drifting like that won't help you. 5 seconds, make it to the line. Yeah, with 2 seconds to spare, Kern Joker finishes. Anel Tanovic, we didn't mention him. He did not finish. Anel Tanovic DNF'd in this race. So the Freakin' Jerker takes his first ever NORL victory, and you could just see about him fastest laps. He was the dominant force today. However, Murcielago did set the fastest lap of the race, so that shows you what could have been Chazza P2. We'll settle with that today. I'm sure Ketchy P3 in the Porsche making a spectacular move on the final corner, reminiscent to Scott McLaughlin and Jamie Whincup in Adelaide in 2014. But that is race number 2, all done and dusted. What a crazy race that was. I'm assuming the stewards are going to have a few things to look at here today. And, wow. Crazy another race. Round 3 will be coming up next time out. But before that, remember we have the Nemesis Online Racing F1 Leagues on Sunday evenings. If you can join us then, please do. You have some crazy races going on as well in those leagues. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. Freakin' Jerker takes his first ever win, and Galactic Skull 2 will go on searching for that first ever NORL victory. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until next time, we'll catch you on Sunday. If not, we'll see you same time here again next week on Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and goodbye.